talking about love, marriage, some philosophical topics like we all used to do when we were teenagers and were having a sleepover. It was shocking for me because it actually felt like a real conversation with a person I couldn't hear. I am 35, have a friend F25 from work. Both of us elementary school teachers. Sort of a mentor-mentee relationship, kinda like a little sister to me. We became pretty close in the last 2 years. She just purchased an apartment in Bucharest, Romania, new building. No previous owners about 8 months back. She is the kind of chronically single girl because she has terrible taste in men, so she decided to be single until someone nice comes along. Anyway, she had this weird little ritual where she imagined someone was spooning her every night until she fell asleep. Thing is, the feeling became much more intense. Maybe some sort of lucid dreaming, where she actually felt in a tactile way someone was holding her. As I said, she is chronically single and she confessed to me she imagined more than holding a couple of times, and it actually led to, let's call it, release of stress. Anyway, she started experiencing the tactile feeling outside of her home. Maybe the hand on the shoulder, someone playing with her hair, getting sleepy all the time and feeling the hugs. She started calling him Gigel, which is a name which in Romanian is pretty much a joke. The name of someone who is low educated and bleep and does a pretty bad job at everything. In English it would be right in the middle of being called Baba or Billy Bob. Jiggle brought her comfort. I thought it was just one of her quirks until we went to a field trip with our students. We visited some medieval monasteries and castles, and she told me for the first time she felt alone again when she was inside the church buildings, and that she felt extreme anxiety when visiting the medieval cemeteries, like something was telling her to leave. The same feeling was inside the castles as well. She is not big on religion, and after that field trip she decided to explore a bit her spirituality. So she visited some churches, mosques and Judaic temples in Bucharest during the weekends, as well as the Belu Cemetery, historic cemetery with tons of wonderful monuments. She experienced the same feeling of loneliness inside places of worship, no matter the denomination, and the same anxiety during their cemetery visit. After this, the presence Gigel started getting stronger, almost like a dopamine rush. As the summer break came, she started sleeping more and more, almost like being drugged and drowning in bliss. When she realized she hadn't eaten for 3 days at one point, she got scared and took a trip to her parents. But Jiggle was there, drowning her in a feeling of being warm and cozy. She even came to visit me and my wife for 2 days, and we haven't seen or heard her leave the guest room, not even to go to the bathroom. She came and left with a goofy smile on her face, and we could tell she was mentally pretty far away. Last week I visited her in her apartment, which was weirdly hot. It was like 37 degrees Celsius, about 98 degrees Fahrenheit, which is not a temperature any mid-building northern facing apartment would ever have, even in a heat wave. She lost a lot of weight since I saw her and is very pale in a yellowish way, and this time she asked me for help. She is convinced Gigel is real, a spirit maybe. So I called both an Orthodox priest, she was raised Orthodox, on Tuesday, and a Catholic one on Thursday. I married into Catholicism, and they did something we call baptism of the house, a blessing, and this didn't work at all. So on Sunday I took her in with some luggage and moved her in with me and my wife, forced her to drink water and eat something, get her on a walk and see a movie with us. But during the night, when I got up to drink a glass of water, I heard her talking in her room. She was addressing Gigel, and it felt like it was a flowing conversation, like he asked her questions and she answered, talking about love, marriage, some philosophical topics like we all used to do when we were teenagers and were having a sleepover. It was shocking for me because it actually felt like a real conversation with a person I couldn't hear. Yesterday we confronted her about this and she just laughed it off, saying it is part of her ritual, and just changed the subject when we wanted to talk about Gigel and convince her to stop picturing him. Also, yesterday 3 of our LED light bulbs went out, and I had one of my Farrakati collapse into a sludge like it had an infection. Not the first time, but weird considering everything. And last night both me and my wife had troubled sleep with lots of nightmares, and it felt like we were suffocating with heat. Like those fever dreams where you talk with people and can't stop speaking to them. This morning my friend packed her bags and left back to her apartment before we got up. Imagine how scared we got. At least she answered her phone when we called her to let us know she is fine. Any advice you have for me? I will edit this post to keep it updated as I try. Your suggestions.